Okay, so let's get into it. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something really fascinating. Frames of Kerala, the journey of Malayalam cinema. We're going to trace this incredible path, from the very beginnings, the silent era, right up to, well, global recognition today. Think of it as your quick guide to this amazing cinematic evolution.
Exactly. And our aim here for you listening is to dig a bit deeper than just dates and names. We want to explore the really profound cultural shifts, the artistic changes that made Malayalam cinema what it is. There's some quite surprising twists and turns along the way.
That sounds great. A profound journey, you said. So, where does this story actually begin? What are the roots?
Right. Well, we start back in the silent shadows, really, with a
Right.
true visionary, J.C. Daniel. He's often called the father of Malayalam cinema. His 1928 film, Vigathakumaran,
Yeah.
that was the first one. A groundbreaking effort, especially for the time.
Okay, J.C. Daniel. And I read something about the challenges, particularly for the actress, P.K. Rosie. You mentioned surprising facts. Was her situation one of them?
Oh, absolutely. P.K. Rosie's story is incredibly significant. She was a Dalit woman cast to play an upper caste Nair woman. The backlash she faced from society was immense. It really throws into sharp relief the deep caste prejudices and the kind of obstacles the industry faced right from the start. It was devastating for her personally. And even another early silent film, Marthanda Varma, got tangled up in copyright problems, serious ones, delayed its proper release for decades.
Wow, decades. That's tough. So, after these silent beginnings, sound arrives. How big of a deal was that beyond just, well, hearing people talk?
Oh, it was pivotal. The first talkie, Balan, came out in 1938. And yes, sound was new, but the bigger impact was how it spurred the growth of actual cinemas, theaters. It helped decentralize things, creating these regional hubs across Kerala. And suddenly, language, music, they became central,
Yeah.
really embedding these films in the local culture, giving them a specific identity.
Okay, so it's finding its voice, literally and figuratively, and building on that local connection. How did it start to define itself artistically? Was there like a golden age moment?
There definitely was. Starting around the 1950s, we see what many call the golden age of realism.
Hmm.
Films like Shemin are perfect examples. Shemin adapted this famous novel, exploring really complex stuff, intercaste romance, fate, the fishing community's life. It just resonated deeply. These films weren't afraid to tackle big social issues, and they started getting national attention. Stars like Prem Nazir, Sheila, Sathian became huge icons then.
Right, Shamin is iconic. So this commitment to realism, did that lead anywhere else? I think I've heard about parallel cinema.
Yes, exactly. That strong realist tradition kind of paved the way for something different, the parallel cinema revolution. Think art house. You had filmmakers like Ador Gopalakrishnan, G. Aravindan, Shaji N. Karun, real visionaries. They weren't focused on commercial formulas. Their films, like Alippathayam or Piravi, were more about artistic expression. Minimalist, maybe nonlinear stories, very contemplative. They challenged audiences, but won major international awards for that unique, introspective style.
Hmm. Interesting. So you have this very artistic, internationally acclaimed movement. What happened next? Did it swing back towards more mainstream films? How did the commercial era balance things?
It did swing back, yeah. The 80s and 90s brought the commercial era. This is when superstars like Mammootty and Mohanlal really dominated. They made massive hits, Madhuri Thazu, Kiradam, films like that. But what's interesting is even these blockbusters often blended that mass appeal with really intense character-focused drama. It wasn't just empty spectacle. They often had powerful human stories at their core, which is maybe why they connected so broadly without feeling, shallow.
That's a key balance, and the industry seems to keep evolving. What about more recently, this digital and new generation wave? What's that bringing?
Yeah, that's the current phase, really. You got a new generation of directors, Lihu Jose Pellicerie, Delish Pothan, Ashik Abu, people like that. They're telling different kinds of stories, often urban, sometimes quite gritty, exploring modern life, alienation, questioning norms. The acting style is often very hyper-realistic. Films like Mahishinte Prathikaram or Kumbalangi Nights, they feel very fresh, very contemporary. They're not afraid to experiment.
And all this connects to something bigger now, right? Their global reach, especially with streaming, the whole OTT revolution.
Oh, absolutely. Streaming platforms, Netflix, Prime Video, Sony Lodong have been massive. Game changers, honestly. Look at Drishyam or Minal Murali or that big film 2018. They're reaching huge audiences way beyond Kerala, across India and globally. It's completely different from just theater releases. And it's also helped Kochi become a major center for post-production work. It really connects Kerala to the global film world now.
So summing it all up, it's quite a story, isn't it?
It really is. When you think about it, from J.C. Daniels' silent film, This Dream He Had, to movies premiering worldwide on OTT, it's an incredible journey,
Yeah.
resilient. And the takeaway, I think, is that Malayalam cinema isn't just regional anymore. Its stories have found a truly universal appeal.
That's perfectly put. And maybe here's something for you, the listener, to think about. How does this specific story, the evolution of Malayalam cinema, give us clues about wider trends, about how storytelling works globally now in this digital age? It really makes you wonder how sticking to your roots, that deep connection to realism and literature, can actually lead to something that speaks to everyone, everywhere. Powerful stories really do cross borders.